Welcome to our Origins LGNS presentation. The crypto space is amazing. However, it does come with risk. With that being said, this presentation is in no way financial advice or solicitation. We are not financial advisors or experts in smart contracts. The crypto space has innate risk. One can lose some or even all of their deposits. Please, folks, do your due diligence before proceeding. Our team went on a quest to find a platform where the passive earner could win without telling a single soul. The builder could build and promote this project with confidence, and one that had longevity, that could be around year after year. We believe we found it, Origins LGNS. Now, this platform is 100% decentralized. That means there's no KYC. You don't need to add your name, address, phone number, or email to the project. You simply connect your digital wallet to a simple staking protocol and begin to earn an amazing token called LGNS. But before we talk about that, let's talk about who they are, what they esteem to do, and a little bit about their track record. Let's go back to 2021, March to be exact. They started another contract, Olympus, and the token was the OHMS token. Now, we bring this up to show their ability to build something that has longevity. Currently, the price is up in the $20 range. Now, let's move forward to March of 2024. They started the Origin and the token, the LGNS token. Now, why did they start this project? They were looking to start the first anonymous autonomous ecosystem. Well, what is that, David? Have you ever heard of Bitcoin? I'm sure you have. You know that Bitcoin has a wallet if you're holding it, and that wallet has an address. Well, if I had your Bitcoin address, I can see your current balance of Bitcoin, anyone you ever sent it to or received it from. In short, your business is not your business. Well, they esteem to keep your business private. In phase 2, they're coming out with the A token. The A token is a stable token. It doesn't fluctuate. And you have the ability to hold it in your wallet, to send it and receive it, and only you see these transactions or the balance of your wallet. But also in phase 2, a digital bank and an exchange, both anonymous as well. But let's talk about phase 1, the LGNS token, their flagship product. Why did they start this token? 2 reasons. Number 1, to build community, and they're doing a great job of that. Currently, there's over 500,000 wallets, 500,000, but also to build liquidity for the whole ecosystem. They're doing a great job of that as well. Currently, they have a total value deposit of 565 million. That's over $500 million. So they're doing a good job. And a liquidity pool of over 84 million. Now, how do you obtain this token and how do you make it work for you? It's simple. You start a digital wallet like MetaMask. You obtain some Polygon and some DAI, which is the stable token on the Polygon network. From there, you get your referrals link and you connect to the smart contract. This is where the magic starts. You see, DAI in the contract converts to LGNS at 1-to-1. That means the true value of LGNS is $1 because DAI's value is $1. They're paired together, married, if you would. Because of this, we have what we call the worst case scenario protocol or rationale. Sarah's going to come to us later and explain what that is. But I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the fact that LGNS cannot go below the value of DAI. I like to call it the soft pillow rationale. But Sarah's going to explain because she does a better job. Once you convert, the DAI to LGNS, you're ready to start. You're going to see in the protocol a button that says stake. You push that button and it starts. 0.3% every 8 hours. The next 8 hours, another 0.3%. We all know there's 3 8-hour periods in a day. So as you can guess, the last 8 hours, you get another 0.3%. Compounding. So what you make the second 8 hours is compounded from the first, and what you make the third is compounded from the first and the second. In short, what you make tomorrow is more than you made today, and the next day is more than what you make tomorrow. The power of compounding. Now, why do we trust this smart contract that governs the LGNS token? It's been audited. That means reviewed, ran through with a fine-tooth comb by 2 reputable companies within this industry, Certic and Armors. And when they audited it, they were looking to make sure there were certain things in place to keep us as community members safe. They wanted to make sure it was renounced. Check it off. It's renounced. That there's no back doors or ability for it to be rug pulled. That means that the owners can come in the middle of the night, take our deposits and run off. Check it off. They were able to confirm that as well, that there is not. And that there's no expiration date on the contract. That it doesn't stop abruptly. All of our fund and earnings, check it off. There's no expiration date as well. Now, next to the stake button in this protocol, you're going to see a button that says unstake. This means that at any time you have the ability to take 10%, 25%, even 100% of what you have deposited, plus what you've earned, that 0.3% every 8 hours, back to your wallet and say thank you very much. There's no lockup period. Sarah's going to come to you and she's going to talk to you about 2 things. Number 1, the worst case scenario rationale. And she's going to talk to you about 4 different deposits. 125, which is the lowest recommended deposit by us. And we're going to talk about why that is later in the presentation. A $500 deposit, a $1,000 deposit, and what we call the Mac Daddy, a $10,000 deposit. With that, I'm going to pass it to you, Sarah.
Excellent. Thank you, David. What a presentation. The worst case scenario rationale. This was a bit of an aha moment for me. As a stay-at-home mom of 4, whenever I'm looking at these programs, I ask myself a few questions as I'm dreaming and looking at the potential market value. And that question is, what is the worst thing that can happen to me? What is the worst case scenario? You can see here on the screen, we have 7.8 LGNS in the estimated return. That represents a $125 deposit. You can see down on the total US dollar amount, we have $3,288. While that's a fantastic return, that does not address my question. Look to the area of highlight, 207 LGNS. But what does that mean? As Dave already mentioned, the LGNS is paired to the DAI. DAI is pegged to a stable value of approximately $1. So from a worst case scenario perspective, a $125 deposit projected out to a 1-year period would yield 207 LGNS. That would be approximately $207. As you can see, I only deposited 125, so I am still in the black and I'm still in profit. If we use a $500 example, 31 LGNS, you can see the total USD amount is $13,070. Again, fantastic return. However, it does not address my question of worst case scenario. You can see in the area of highlight, I have 823 LGNS. So as you can guess, that would equal approximately $823. Again, I only deposited $500, so I am still in the black and I'm still in profit. If we use the example of a $1,000 deposit, approximately 62 LGNS, we can see the total US dollar amount is getting bigger, $26,141. Again, fantastic return, but does not answer my question. In the area of highlight, we can see 1,646 LGNS. That'd be approximately $1,646. I'm over $600 in the profit as I only deposited $1,000. Now, to test this theory, we're going to use what we call the Mac Daddy deposit, $10,000. That is 620 LGNS. We can see on the bottom here, I love that number, $261,410. I wouldn't turn that down, but again, it does not answer my question. 16,460 LGNS in the area of highlight. That would be approximately $16,460. I only deposited $10,000. I am still in the black, and I am still in profit by over $6,000. When I was looking at risk versus reward with this program, and I saw this aha moment, if you will, to me, it was an absolute no-brainer. So with that, the worst case scenario rationale. Back to you, Dave.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Worst case scenario rationale. I like to call it the soft pillow, because as you heard, it gives you a little bit of peace knowing that in the worst case scenario, you can still be in the positive. And this is because of the power of compounding. Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world. And to further show the power of it, I'm going to talk about two more elements, and I'm going to leave it alone. Number one, let's look at the number that you find in this platform on the staking page that I love. This number here is called the index number. Every day, it gets bigger and bigger. 42.20. What does it represent? If you got into this opportunity day one and obtained one LGNS, it would have cost you a deposit of $4.50. Push the stake button, and every 8 hours after that, you'd have earned 0.3%, day after week after month, up until today. And you would have from that one LGNS, 42.20 LGNS because of compounding. Now, based on today's value of 42.2, and CAR's going to go at $15.88, which is the value of LGNS approximately right now. It changes every second, but that's about the value currently. That's what I would have right now, $670.13 from a $4.50 deposit. That means right now, if I wanted to, I could push unstake, convert that LGNS back to DAI and back to my wallet from a $4.50 deposit. That's powerful. The second thing I want to talk about is a case study. Back in December of 2024, myself, Sarah, and Mark were on a Zoom with his upline, Marcus. He told us about a young man that came in underneath him with a 16,000 deposit. He pushed the stake button after converting it to LGNS and sat back and was determined not to tell a single soul about it. So he was passive. 9 months later, we looked at it. Now, it's important to mention that when he obtained the LGNS, they were $80 a piece. When we looked at it, they were $15 a piece, a reduction in price by over 80%. But the value of his staked LGNS was a whopping $60,000. He started with $16,000 deposit, began to stake it, and when we looked at it 9 months later, with a reduction in price of 80%, the value was $60,000. It showed that the price of the token could not stand up to the compounding. The compounding outlasts and was more powerful than the price action. Now, as if this wasn't enough, the passive side, you coming in, you making a deposit, pushing that stake button and sitting back, there's more to this platform. What if I told you that you have the ability to increase your stake by 101 DAI and be entered into free drawings that occur numerous times a day, per week and per month? Well, it's here in this platform. It's called the rewards pool, or we like to call it the icing on the cake. Mark's going to come and tell us about the icing on the cake. To you, Mark.
Wow. Thank you, David and Sarah. Great job there. So yes, this is exciting. It's called the reward pool options because it is optional. You don't have to participate in this, but it is fun for the people who want to do it. I have to say, I'll even have a story from last night to share with you. We had a special call on the reward pool last night, and something very exciting happened at the end. So we have three different pools. We have one called the hourly, one called the weekly, and one the monthly. Now, the last two are pretty obvious. One's a weekly, one's a monthly. But the hourly is very special because this goes off many times per day. Okay, and you can get involved in that anytime you want. I'll kind of give you a little insight into that. Now, three things happen anytime you get involved in the rewards pool. When you have a minimum of 101 DAI that you want to deposit into your account, you can go in, instead of just making a regular deposit, you can actually do it through one of the reward pools. Now, the hourly has a few stipulations to it, okay? But the monthly, if you're just coming in and you just want to be safe and get it in there, you can go in through the monthly pool anytime you want. You can do your first deposit in there, your second deposit. Anytime you want to do a deposit, you can get into this particular pool. Right now, it's at $104,000. Okay, and we're just a tenth of the month, so we still have a ways to go. It's going to be a good one. And what happens here? Well, the three things. Okay, you're upping your deposit, meaning that 0.3%, you're getting more of it every 8 hours, which is very powerful. The second thing, every time you come in through one of these doors, whether it be weekly, monthly, or hourly, you join Lucky Hash. So that's the tip, the hash. That when you do that purchase, it creates a hash ID. That hash ID automatically gets put into the pool. And that's the beauty because there's no cost. Normally you would go out to a raffle or a lottery or whatever, and you have to buy a ticket. Here, you're getting a free ticket. So that's benefit number two. And the third, as David mentioned, and Sarah as well, with the 1-to-1 ratio between the LGNS and the DAI. So the difference of the price of market of that time, that goes into the liquidity of the company, okay, of the platform. So that is very powerful, okay? So you got three things going on. You're upping your stake, you're getting a free draw into the raffle, and you're upping the liquidity and helping the whole community, because that is making everything work better and it's making the community stronger and the whole platform stronger. So this is very powerful. And just to kind of show you, let's go to the monthly, and I'm just going to show you a couple of actual things. Last month, if you look at that top left-hand one, Carl loves to show that one, the winner, the top one there, got $132,800. Okay. Now, what happens is 2 hours before the end of the lottery, they open it up. 51 lucky hashes are chosen. And then once it's actually finished, those 51, the largest deposit of those 51 gets that top left prize there, 40% of the pool. And the other 60% is divided up between the other 50 that got their hash IDs in. So anywhere from 435 up to 1600, 821. So there are some great prizes here. It's all random, so you can get in there. And last night, we actually did a special call on the rewards pool to kind of teach people how to do it. And during the call, somebody on the call, while we were talking, and he actually got into the pool just at the last minute. He was opening a new wallet, and he went in, and he jumped in. He says, okay, ooh, it's almost over. I'm going to jump in and put my deposit in. It was a $105 deposit. So he jumped in, clicked Join Lucky Hash, made his deposit, and about 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, he came on to, do a little testimonial about his wallets and everything. And he said, by the way, I won the pool. So that was very powerful and, very exciting because we were doing a special call on the rewards. So it works. I've won it multiple times. David has won it. He'll tell a story about that. Carl's won it. And Duerte, all kinds of different people have won it. All of them, the hourly, the weekly, and the monthly. And here's what happens if you win it. So what happens is you see right there, that thing where it was just a pale red, all of a sudden gets bright red. It has that really nice yellow dot in there and a number next to it. And guess what happens? You push that. Once you push that, it goes directly into your wallet. Doesn't go anywhere else. You just push claim it, go to your wallet, boom, and it's sitting there right in your wallet. And then you have a choice. You could either stake it or take it. If you need it, you could take it. You could even come back in through the pool again. So it's really, it's a lot of fun. It gives you a lot of options, and we never know who's going to win, but we really want to wish everybody who does participate the best of luck. So with that, David, going to pass it right back to you.
Awesome. Great job. The rewards pool, the icing on the cake. Now, Mark's being a little modest. We call him the godfather of the rewards pool. It's also the reason why he teaches the Zoom on Wednesday nights. So after you hear my story, you might want to show up and get a little bit of tips from him. In January of this year, I was already staking LGNS, was happy with the program, and I took a tip from Mark to go ahead and try one of these rewards pools. So I increased my stake by 101 DAI, and I went into the hourly. That's the one that happens numerous times per day. And I won off of 101 DAI that started to stake for me at 0.3% every 8 hours. So despite whether I won or not, I was already a winner. I increased my stake, and it's still working for me. But back to the winnings. I won 646 DAI. Now I had a choice. When I pushed that button and it went back to my wallet, I could have withdrew it and spent it, or I could have restaked it, and I chose to restake it. And I did it a little bit even more unique. I took a method of starting a new wallet. I used my, at that time, main wallet and referred that new wallet to that wallet so that I can get some of the commissions off of it. And Carl's going to touch on that here in a bit, the builder side. And then I staked it. I haven't looked at it since that day back in January, and I'm not going to. I'm going to open it a year later and see what I have. Now, for entertainment purposes only, let's take a look at potentially, based on today's value, what that might be worth in 1 year. So 646 at the time, it was $15. So we're going to divide that into the 646. And that would have gave me 43 LGNS to start. And we're going to take it out a full year. That number there of 18,145 and 78 cents is potentially what I might be looking at when I open that wallet in January of 2026. And I'll update you and I'll let you guys know what that number is. But that's powerful because that's free moolah. I had the 101 still working for me at 0.3% every 8 hours, and I potentially have that number there staring me in the face in January 2026. Powerful. A quick recap. For people that are passive, you can come into this program, open a wallet like MetaMask, get you some Polygon, some DAI, convert your DAI to LGNS, and push that stake button and earn 0.3% more LGNS every 8 hours. It's just that simple without telling a single soul. Sarah went over the worst case scenario rationale, which helped you sleep a little at night knowing that in the worst case, you can still be in a profit. And Mark, the godfather of the rewards pool, he talked about the ability to win free moolah just by increasing your staking of LGNS by 101 DAI. That's the passive side. That's just as simple as it sounds. Now, there's more. There's the builder side. For those that want to share it as though you've seen a great movie and you wanted to tell others about it. It's just that simple. This platform rewards you for sharing. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Carl to tell you about the builder side.
Awesome. Thanks, David. So The builder side has two different sides to it. We have what we call the spiderweb income, and we have what we call the DAO. So basically, everything starts at the spider web. So there's two qualifications for the spider web. First of all, there are it's a uni level, so it's unlimited width and 15 levels of depth. Now, to open up each level, there are requirements. You would have to have one personally referred wallet or member. Okay, we actually call them missions, and each one of those has to have a minimum of $100 in LGNS staking. Now, we always recommend 125, and the reason is you want to have a $25 buffer so you never go below the $100 threshold. Because if you do, you will temporarily lose out on commissions until you come back up above, and that goes for any of the wallets as well. So to open up an additional level, you would have to have an additional wallet referred to you. So if we kind of look at this chart right here, this kind of tells you how the first level, so your main wallet would have to have a minimum of 125 in it, okay? And you would be able to earn commissions from all of the wallets that you have referred, whether they're your own or somebody else's. And how that works is if we go back and we look at the staking that's in here, you will see that the next reward amount that you see here, this is the amount, whatever this amount is on the wallets that you have referred, you will earn 16% of whatever that number is every 8 hours. And it does go up, as David mentioned. Okay, now going back to the chart here, so the same thing is on the second level. It would require you to have two wallets, as you can see here, and you'd have to have 325 of your own personal staking. So you would have to up your staking $200, and then you'll be able to claim on the second level, which would be 10% of that number I just showed you. And again, as you can follow the chart, for each wallet opens up a new level, and you have to up your staking to that. We'll actually get more into that tonight on our builders call at 9 p.m. Eastern in this room as well. So let me take you to the second part, which is the DAO rewards. This is very exciting. So as I mentioned, the wallets that you refer, whether again, you're personally referring them or there are people that you're sharing this with, that they are called missions. So we're going to look at 3 independent missions right now, or 3 wallets personally referred. When those wallets each earn $50,000 in LGNS staked below them at any given time, it will open up an additional income stream of 1 to 5%. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole thing here today because we go through that on our evening calls. So with that said, I'm going to pass it back to Dave.
Awesome. Great job, Carl. And there you have it, folks, the builder side.